So in the past, I want to say, give or take about a month ago, I started doing research as to how I can both have my pressure sensor that's stock on the car, but I also want an oil pressure gauge. The best place that I've found to put it is at the stock location for the oil pressure um, switch, whatever you want to call it. And with that being said, on my Instagram, Kevin Sleece, if you want to look me up, um, I actually bought the pieces. Now, there's actually three here. You have a 3/8 NTP that's reduced to 1/8. Um, and this is all just 3/8 on all three sides. It's just a 3/8 T. Um, I also got a 3/8 full thread. Just I can screw into the T here, and then this side here I can just screw into the block. And then here I'm going to go ahead and I'll just put my aftermarket sensor there, and then I can put the oil pressure switch sensor, whatever you want to call this guy, stock, I can put it there. It's actually quite simple. I spent like 15 bucks for everything. Really the only tools you're going to need is a wrench. That way you can try to get your T fitting tightened down enough. You do, let me rephrase that, because that could be scam. I personally would recommend to use Teflon tape. Oil will sweat through this. You might have a slight little leak or a drop and you're trying to figure out where it's coming from, and you're just losing your mind thinking it's something severe when it's something simple. So like I said, I would recommend, and that's what I'm going to do, is use a little bit of Teflon tape. And we can just screw everything together. This oil won't seep through or sweat. And just one less thing that I'd have to worry about leaking. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this put together. I need to do a few other things that I should have done before I started this video, but for whatever reason I didn't. I just have too much on my mind right now. So let's get this put together and get it on the motor. Okay, in order to set this up, I already have the all-threaded piece of the adapter in, and it'll tighten down once you have the block, well, the first part threaded in. And as you tighten, the T itself will tighten up as well. I'm trying to do this as careful as possible. Make sure you have no other pieces on. For my situation, I'm not going to promise that everything's going to be the same for everybody. But for my sake, this will be 13/16, and I'm just going to carefully tighten it up. Oh, I can hardly see. I have the engine in the air just a little wee bit, so I have mobility to move. Because, you know, nothing can go right the first time. That ain't going to work. I could just grab a socket, but no. I'm just going to go until it's tightened down, and because these threads should be tapered. Enough of a turn left to finish this right here. That should be okay. And now I'm going to go ahead. I'd like to put the aftermarket sensor I have right here. And then I can put the switch on this side and just run an extension through here on the back side of this, and I can tighten everything up. While I get that set up, I'll be right back. So I'm going to try to show you this the best that I can. Tightening the switch itself down, whatever you want to call it, was a pain in the butt. But it's tightened down. For the aftermarket switch, this little bung right here, thread, whatever you want to call it, that is for the signal wire that runs up to the gauge. I already have a wire made out. I just wanted to tighten this down first. I'm just going to tighten this down as far as I can by hand. And probably call it about as good. That might be about as good as it's going to get anyway. So now I can just go ahead. Since this is all exposed, I'll grab that wire, get it set, and tuck it up somewhere on the block. Hopefully don't forget about it. And we'll go ahead and get that ready. That way, that's something I don't have to worry about later on. So I got my wire made up here. That little stud. And what's best? Yeah, we'll slap it on like that. That frayed part's kind of hanging me up a little bit. And since we're going to try to run it along the firewall into the car, we're going to do it like that. And I'm just going to use some channel locks just to lightly tighten that up. There's a lock washer on it as well. I'm just carefully doing this. And then I can take all my extra wire and we'll wrap it up, put it on top of the motor, and should be about ready to put the motor and transmission in. So if you didn't watch the previous video, I made a comment about I was going to take my exhaust, get it taken to work, on my downtime, get it done. Well, it's done. Since this part's done, I think I'm going to hold off from putting the flex pipe on, well, this part of the exhaust on, until maybe after the car's running. I don't know. We'll see. But that part is done. So I'm going to try to carefully get this jacked up, and we can go ahead and try to get the engine and transmission put in. Well, to get to this point, I didn't record. It's a pain in the butt. There's no way I could get the car raised up high enough to try and just set the car down on top of the motor and trans. A lot of lifting, a lot of thinking, trying to do most of this by hand just with the engine hoist holding the motor. But I was able to take this brace off that sits underneath where the battery sits, and we got it in that way. Got to get these shifting cables out of the way. Now it's just a matter of trying to get the engine up a little bit once I get it pushed in, but I need to get the hoses on for the heater core, and just slowly kind of start getting everything set. That way I can finally place the motor where it needs to go. Okay, so I got some of the stuff moved out of the way. Let's just carefully maybe try to push this in. Oh, what are we stuck on?
You're stuck on
AC? Yeah, the AC clutch is stuck.
Yeah.
Find a good spot. That ain't gonna work. lift it up a little bit. I think the bottom of the trains is sitting on the. There we go. Too much dropping up and down, up and down. There goes my water. What are we hitting over here? I'm confused. Trying to do this without being in the way of the camera. We'll raise it up a little bit more and try to get everything situated. I'm just trying to get the AC compressor around the body, but then it's just making it difficult. I don't have much room because of the trains. Oh, cat. Ow.
What?
Pointy. Ah, that hurt.
There's no hook me in the pointy.
Yeah, no swearing.
Yeah, me too, me.
Oh.
You know, break the old line again.
Back up. I don't care if I get hurt. I just don't want you hurt. We'll drop that down a little bit.
Okay. You drop that down.
No, you're not dropping it down.
No, I tell you, you drop that down. I tell you that.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna drop it down.
What am I stuck on? Somebody explain to me what is going on.
Oil
Backing line. I need the transmission to drop and the front of the motor to come up.
Yes. I'm not that hole. Get my hole.
Literally, it's just that little side.
Get it.
We'll kick it.
Oh.
Nope.
Hit your head in the trophy.
Maybe we can get lucky and just drop the entire trains.
Trophy journey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a wrap in the back and that door full.
I probably have no movement. No. Really? I don't even know what I did.
What?
I guess I kicked it. All right.
They're off.
The motor and trans are now in the car. Next step, I guess, is to try and get it bolted. Get everything raised up to the best of my ability. First, maybe just do the top mount. Hey, I need that. Don't run off with that. Why is the transmission getting stuck on everything?
See, you get that down. You're dying.
do with the transmission and motor apart separately. I don't even know what I'm sticking on. I don't need too much. I'm literally stuck right there. I don't need much. So while I work on that, you guys keep an eye right here. Math. I can't have it that high because then the shift fork is in the way. I know what everybody's thinking. Just bring everything back. Yes, I'd love to, but it's not that fucking freaking. It's not that easy. Should get maybe a jack. I just need you to come forward just a little bit. That's literally it. But it's acting like I'm stuck on something over here, and I'm not. Not that I can see. Alright, here's just a quick little update. The motor's actually fully in. All the mounts are in. I still need to tighten the top one, but I need to do the alignment and shit first. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. For the most part, the motor is tightened down. Transmission mount's done. I just got oil in it. I got the PCM installed. I got the clutch reservoir. It's full. Oil's in it. I got the throttle linkage for now hooked up. I'm just trying to get it to where I can fire the car up. I need to install the one bracket for the battery, and then go ahead and finish getting some more wiring done up. Main harness here is plugged in, knock sensor's plugged in. The AC stuff, I only have one plugged in. This is broke, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, these plugs are not the same. The starter is hooked up. Everything should be hooked up as far as I'm aware. That little notch, and then this cable. I believe this wire here goes to the battery tray, possibly, maybe. Yes, no. And this goes to the trans. So all this shit can come up here. I have a little bit more to do. So my YouTube channel, Turning Over Garage, was brought back. It was reinstated. They found nothing. And today, August, whatever this is, August 5th, they got shut down again. I even took videos down that maybe had something to do with it. I don't know. Or maybe somebody's just being ignorant and disrespectful, and they're just reporting my stuff to get me shut down. We'll see if this will be on the Turn It Over Garage page or Boost for Days page. I might give up Turning Over Garage and start over because I don't want to keep dealing with this. I'm not sure what's going on. So that's a quick little update. I will be back as I get some more stuff done. Okay, So I got a few more things hooked up. I noticed I didn't have the main wire for the starter to the battery itself. I didn't have it hooked up. So I got it hooked up. I got the shift cables and the bushings in. I got the clutch hydraulic line. It is on now. Just kind of tinkering around trying to get some of the extra stuff. The PCM is now hooked up. And most of the wiring, other than my solenoids for all the boost, there's 3 of them. I don't have those plugged in. I don't even have them hooked up. Yeah. I do have oil in it now, as I stated earlier. I'm not worried about coolant. I'm not going to run it very long. I want to hear it running. I'm running a little bit of thicker oil since everything was kind of tore apart. Plus it's got new crank bearings at the bottom. Noisy cat up there too, so I apologize for that. So I have the ground on. Let's see if we can get some power going on here. See if we have sparks. Maybe another fire. I just heard a little spark and that came from here. I didn't hear it from anywhere else. I also do not have the exhaust hooked up, so I need to be careful with that because that's how the fire got started the last time. Let's go in and see what inside the cab says. Wow. This is a sound I haven't heard in a while. Oh, it is messy in here. That's just how much the body has. Obviously, like I said before, the transmission was switched over. Now the motor. Let's see what it does when we turn the key forward. Alright, yes, I don't have the temperature sensor plugged in for that. For the thermostat, I don't think it's plugged in. Let's make sure there's no leaks. I did hook that fuel line up. I don't smell any gas. That's good and dry, it looks to be. I know it's kind of hard for you fellers to see on there. Now, where is that wire go for this? There should be a wire here. Well, I was recording, I thought, but ended up not. But it doesn't do anything. So, what am I missing here? Connection down here at the starter was loose, like very loose. It cranks, but I got nothing else out of it. I'm sure there's got to be something here I'm missing. There's got to be something. I know the coil's plugged in. The timing's got to be right. I know I got fuel. Well, I can hear fuel. The fuel pump kicks on. And I have fuel in my gauge. Coil pack's plugged in. You're plugged in. Cam's plugged in. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it just must have been a loose connection. It was just, oh my gosh. You're going to have to see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Guys, get ready. It sounded like shit. I think a lot of it's because of the vacuums. I'm not going to leave it run very long. I just want to hear it. I want you guys to hear it. It was running. Oh, Here, let's get some more fuel pressure. Like it's all new for it. All right, let's get the battery charger on and get some power going to it. All right, we're gonna see how this sounds. There's a microphone hooked up. Woohoo! Welcome back. From the last clip, I believe it's the car wouldn't crank over anymore. That issue's been solved. I don't know exactly which one it was, but my green and red wire, I had it reversed. I had green on bottom, it should have been on top. And I moved the ground from on top of the trans and put it down by the starter, thanks to Matt's Garage on YouTube and Matt's Garage 2017 on Instagram, if you want to look him up. He cleaned his grounds, and that's when I noticed my power wires for the starter was reversed. That could have been it, I don't know. I did that Friday before I went to work, and the car actually ran. I let it run for like 30 seconds. If you've seen on my Instagram, I believe I had it up on there. So with that being said, I want to get as far as possible today. I'd like to have it so the car is moving. In order to do that, I need to do the axles. I believe my front bearings are shot now, so I won't be doing a lot of driving. But get the power steering line hooked up and get it filled. Obviously, axles need done. I need to get the cooling system on. I need to finish the exhaust, which is I need to cut a chunk out so I can put my adapter over. I just bent it, bringing the car back in. I feel like an idiot. Hopefully the sound quality is a little bit better because I have a mic and I have it plugged into the phone. It probably ain't going to help. I should have probably just put the battery in it and left it on camera. Whatever. Oh well, we'll see. Hopefully it sounds better. I'll look at it once I'm done with this clip. Remind me. But get the cooling system on, get the intercooler and piping all hooked up, get the inspection plate. There's a lot of work, but not a lot of work. Let's get started. I also want to add, at least for oil wise, I don't have any oil leaks. And the turbo, actually, you could hear the turbo is awesome. So, oh, another thing, we need to get the vacuum lines on here and get the solenoids plugged in. That might be something I should do first before I get into anything else. So, without further ado, let's get started. First off, I want to start to say this. I know these bolts, they're not cleaned up. I will get back to it because I'm sure I'm going to have to come back into the engine bay. But until then, the bolts are just going to have to look kind of crappy. It's probably just easier to tie into where it was. Take these two lines off. Actually, maybe. Yes, I can take this whole line off. Since most of on here is exposed, there should be no reason that I break anything. I'm just going to try to be as gentle as I can. Plus, it could give me extra spare parts that I might need in the future. If it comes down to it, I might put some heat on this. It looks like it's starting to come now. And when I go to reinstall it, I'll just put some lube to make it a little easier to come back. Just don't, this isn't too bad yet. This goes to the tip. Which is right here, which I also need to take off this harness to, because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to keep it as a backup. Now I need to try and get this to pop out. Try to be as careful as possible to not break anything. Kind of set that there now. Now that these are cleaned, I guess I didn't have to pull this. Maybe. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I guess it don't really matter. As long as one's in here, we plug it back to where it goes. That actually went on quite nicely. Aligned to where it was. Grab some spray, a little oil, some sort of lubrication. Just going to put a little bit on my finger and kind of just set it on here. Gather this guy again, just to get a little bit on. Get everything is aligned as good as possible. Went in just like butter. Now there's another vacuum setup. Think, yeah, rubber hose. I need to get that part off and then try to get set into that line. Still, I have some crap in my way. I'm still working on getting rid of that. So let's come here and try to get this little fella off. And again, I'm trying to be as delicate as possible with these lines. There we go. Finally. I'm also going to put a little lube on that because that was a pain. And I remember when I was taking it off the car, it was a pain. So I don't want it to be a pain to put in. There. Plug you into the bottom of the tip. And again, I'm getting over from being sick. I'm still sick, but I'll fight to keep going. I took one day off. That's enough for me. Oh, bolts. Yeah, these might not work. We'll be back. I gotta find longer bolts. Okay, so I couldn't find the correct bolts that I needed for that, so I just used the zip screw. I got all my solenoids plugged in. I have the cruise control, which didn't work before. It's plugged in. I also have the vacuum line running up to the tip. The rubber line down here is hooked up. Obviously, previously you've seen that this was already hooked up. I got my throttle cables in. Everything's ran over here. I disconnected everything completely from the brake booster because I when I tore everything off the junkyard car, I put it all as one unit. So I just unplugged, plugged in, and then real quick, I attempted to put my new air intake in. I need a different bung or something, but I just have that kind of filled for now. I'm gonna probably just bolt it off, to be honest with you. Because I don't want to get a bunch of air and stuff in here. Or dirt, I'm meaning. And then obviously my filter, which is quite reflective. Wipe it off real quick, it might even look better. You can see some of the smudges and goop on there. What else? I need to get stuff set up to put my boost gauge, get it tapped in. Quick, easy. I'm just going to snip here, put everything together, heat it up a little bit, and then just do zip ties. If you warm it up enough, the zip ties will crush it. I don't have small enough clamps for that, and it really wouldn't work anyway. Another thing I need to do, I need to pull this back off, because I got ahead of myself. I need to do my coolant lines to the heater core. I need to get clamps on them and get them tightened. So this was a pain in the butt, and I'm going to have to do it all over again because I went too fast. We got it, the clamps all tightened down now, this back on. It was easier the second time around. Really, what's next? I'm waiting for the radiator support for the lower part to dry because I scrubbed it, got all the gunk and goop off of it. I guess maybe get ready and start putting some hard pipes on them. Maybe get the exhaust cut and get the exhaust attached. That'd be something smart to do. I don't know how well I can set you up under there. I'll try my best. Let's get the car jacked up. Okay, so for right now, I'm working on the exhaust. I got the flex pipe part attached to the motor. It's bolted down with a new gasket. The problem I'm going to probably have, I'm going to try to show you as much as possible, is getting the other pipe slipped into the adapter and get everything bolted down, because unfortunately I cannot pull this exhaust without cutting, and I really don't want to do any more cutting. That's just more chances of an exhaust leak, so I want to avoid that as much as possible. Like I said, I'll show as much as I can, but let's see if I can get it. Okay, hopefully you can see me. I don't have a lot of room to work with. Sadly, I don't have any bigger jacks. Mine's broke, so I have my little one. I'm going to try to do this the best that I can. All I need to do is get this section so much work. And I don't have any help to give me a hand either, so I have to twist the exhaust, I have to do this, I have to do that. So, without further ado, let's try to do it. Oh, it needs to come forward and straighten out. Oh, it's so close. Oh. Yes, I know this fits in this pipe. I did try that. Whenever I first got it and started working with everything. I guess grab that jack stand, huh, and kind of help myself out. Well, maybe not. Nope. Okay. This is just going to be annoying. The exhaust needs to come this way. This was originally from a Neon SRT4, so the Neon, I guess we'll just say, because that just sounds so weird saying it all. So it's not 100% straight to where it needs to be. And yes, the rest of this was set to where it was. Before I cut anything, I try to get everything set perfectly. And I did a little research to make sure my top plate was right, like everything's right. Let's try again. Oh. This is so annoying. Well, the exhaust is going to have to wait a little bit. I got it started, but the adapter might have a little bit of a dent or something. I can't get the pipe to go the whole way in. So tomorrow I'm going to pick up a exhaust spreader, pipe expander, whatever you want to call it, just to open it up a little bit, because I don't want to cut again. And I have everything mounted, and I don't want to do no welding, especially under the car. There's still plenty of oil residue underneath there. So, with that being said, I guess I'm just going to continue on the front end. Try to get it buttoned up, get the radiator, the intercooler in. It's as good as it's going to get. Intercooler wise, I tried wire wheeling it. I mean, it looks better. It's not corroded and gunky, poopy looking, so I'll show you. So this is all wire wheeled. The bottom is wire wheeled, just to give it a little bit of a shine. I didn't want to mess with the fins too much. And this is a part that I really don't want to paint, for the simple fact is its job is to cool the air. And painting it probably wouldn't hurt it a whole heck of a lot, but it could affect the cooling. So, and the way these are, they run hot all the time regardless, so I don't want to make it any worse, if that makes any sense to the viewers. I think once everything's buttoned up, I'm going to end this video because it's probably long enough. I do have some other tasks that should start to bring weekly videos again. And I have some more parts that I need to order as well. I need to find an emergency brake kit. I just need the pins, literally. For whatever reason, this one, they didn't have them, so But let's get back to it. Just a little insight. I got the inspection cover on. I got my two lines for the power steering. They're now held up on the stud. I got this brace for the block and the transmission. I got it on. All bolts are all in. As far as I'm aware, mine is putting axles and the speed sensor in, which I'm going to do before. The speed sensor is going to go in first before I put the axles in. I'd like to have a really nice ending to this video with the car running, so we'll see. But now we're going to go ahead and start on the radiator. We'll get it put back in and get some lines hooked up and start dumping some water. See if I find any leaks that I might have not tightened down. As far as I'm aware, everything is tightened though. So cross our freaking fingers for that. But all in all, it's looking pretty dang good, if I say so myself. Well, the intercooler and the radiator are now in. The support on the bottom down here is now bolted in. I got the top radiator hose on. I ran out of clamps. So this one will be replaced. I don't like these. I also have the top charge line about ready to be installed. I just got to go underneath and get it set. The lower red hose is on as well, and I just happened to notice that I need to take the bolts back out for the nuts off for the inspection cover. Well, I need to take the nuts off the lines that are on the inspection cover, so I can put the hot pipe on it. So a little bit backwards I'm going to have to do, but oh well. We just had a storm here too, so my power's still trying to blink. Hopefully it stays on. But not much left to do up top here now. I guess we can plug this in. Find where you ran off to and get you plugged in. I don't have anything that I can switch this plug out for. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for the scrapyard guys for Facebook. I'll see if I can get some new pigtails. But looks pretty cool, I think. Looks pretty damn good. Ew, I'm ugly. He's ugly. I guess get ready and do some underneath work, and then get a battery thrown in. See if we have any leaks. So I actually started trying to get the car running again once the main lines were hooked up, minus the lines at the intercooler, and the car will not run. You disconnect the lines and the car seems to run. So maybe connecting the piping for the intercooler won't change something. I don't know. So that's why I'm just going to end this video. Thank you everybody that watched. I found who my hater is, so they're blocked, so they can't do my crap anymore. So we'll stay here on Turning Over Garage. Maybe when the car is done, we'll switch to Boost for days. I don't know. We'll see.